Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd like to do on this beautiful day is take you through another book, and the book that I've selected for today is entitled The Imposter Cure, a book authored by Dr. Jessamy Hibberd and published on the 11th of June 2019. And this book provides strategies for overcoming feelings of imposter syndrome and help build strong self-confidence that is productive and something that we can leverage and help us grow and develop. So the first point that this author makes is the acknowledgement of imposter feelings and saying that it's just natural and normal to feel a little uncomfortable. We need to recognise and name imposter syndrome is the first step towards overcoming it. So you need to recognise and name it to start off with, because once you've acknowledged it, then you can deal with it. It's only when we name something and we identify and we label it that we can capture it and then start to deal with it. That's a very, very profound and important point, and one of the probably biggest stumbling blocks that most people make is that they try and shy away from labelling their feelings and try and avoid coming into contact or having to deal with it. But the author here says that the most important thing to do at the outset is to label with it, to size it up, and to take it on head on. Because by identifying it, you can begin to challenge the negative thoughts and beliefs that fuel it, that feed it. The author goes on to say that the next point that we need to do is we need to understand the causes of these feelings. Imposter syndrome often stems, not always, but often stems from perfectionism, high expectations, and the ongoing fear of failure that comes from being a perfectionist and setting very high standards. Understanding the root causes helps you address the underlying issues. So there's an opportunity for people to start looking inward to try and identify the cause of these feelings that they sometimes have. The author goes on to say that the next thing we need to do is to challenge the negative self-talk that comes along with this imposter syndrome. We need to learn to identify and question the critical inner voice that ruminates and continually tries to tell us that you're not good enough. Remembering that this voice comes from you, doesn't come from anybody else. No, we are the ones who control the volume and the on-off switch for that voice. So we need to, wherever possible, challenge these voices and replace negative thoughts with more realistic and compassionate self-talk is the key lesson. And in order to do that, the author says that what we need to firstly understand and accept and embrace is that perfectionism does not exist. Perfectionism fuels imposter syndrome, as the author says, but we also need to understand that perfectionism does not exist. And we need to embrace the idea that mistakes and failures are part of growth and learning, not a sign of inadequacy. This is a really powerful and important point that we need to share with our children, grandchildren, and all the people that we come into contact with, that along the path you're going to stumble, you're going to fall, you're going to have challenges, but these things don't indicate that you're inadequate. It just tells you that you're alive and you're following a path of growth, development and achievement, and you just need to keep on going and to not stop and not be defeated by the limits that you set yourself. And in order to do this, the author says that we need to separate our feelings from the facts. This is critical. Separate the feelings from the facts. Just because you feel like an imposter doesn't mean that you are one. Learn to differentiate between feelings and facts and focus on the evidence of your capabilities and achievements. You need to continually remind yourself about what you're capable of doing, what you've actually done, and the facts surrounding who you are and how you got to where you are. And in order to do this, we need to be able to document and capture those successes and to celebrate them along the way. Doesn't mean that they need to be big successes. You just need to identify progress over perfection and celebrate those steps that get you to where you are. So we need to take time. We need to be paying attention and to acknowledge and celebrate your accomplishments. So you need to, as I say, pay attention and have other people help you as well by identifying and showcasing and highlighting your achievements and your progress over perfection, no matter how small, because this reinforces your sense of competence and combats your irrational feelings of inadequacy, and most importantly, give you certainty to be able to continue along your path and do what you have to do. We need to seek support and mentorship. Talk to others about your feelings of imposter syndrome. Many people experience the same thing, and sharing your struggles can provide support and insight from others who have been where you are and know exactly how you feel and what you're saying. Because we need to reframe failure. We need to reframe it. We need to relook at it and to make sure that we have it supporting us. Because failure, we need to be reframed and repositioned as a learning opportunity. Shift our perspective from failure, from something of fear, to an opportunity for growth and learning. Every mistake is a chance to learn and improve and get better and stronger. And when it's all said and done, what we need to do, most importantly of all, is to focus on our strengths and to build self-compassion. We need to recognise and focus on our strengths and unique qualities instead of comparing ourselves to others. We need to embrace what makes us unique and what makes us very special. So once again, thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club. Another wonderful book with lots of beautiful lessons, and hoping they make sense and we can incorporate them